One. Boom, there it is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have an awesome show lined up for all of you all today. If you want to learn about AFLAC and voluntary benefits, this is where you want to be today.
The Insurance Bro Show is a podcast for agents who want to grow their agency and be titans of the insurance industry. Learn from a panel of experts who share their agency struggles, their experiences with the nation's best carriers, and share the marketing secrets that successful insurance agents are using today. Now, here's your host, the Insurance Bro, James Cias.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, all you insurance pros. Quick disclaimer, not AFLAC anymore. Got that one pointed out to me on that quick break there. But anyway, for all of you, we're about to have a lot of fun on this episode. But before we do, just a quick reminder to please subscribe on whichever platform it is that you're catching us on today. Give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, and drop a review. Help other like-minded insurance agents find value from our awesome guests while we rise up in the podcast rankings. I will really appreciate every single one of you for it. And if you want to be a guest on the show, I would love to have you on to learn from you as well. Go to www.insurancebroshow.com/guest. Schedule your time slot. Don't forget to follow me on all my social media at Insurance Bro Show. But for now, today, ladies and gentlemen, we're so excited and so honored to bring another incredible guest to the Insurance Bro Show. Our guest today is a highly motivated agency owner of an enhanced voluntary benefits firm. He's been advising employers in this niche market for over 10 years, and today we have an opportunity to learn from one of San Diego's best how to help employers, brokers, and employees choose carriers and design voluntary benefits products around each of their objectives. A lifelong entrepreneur and a proponent of taking action, our guest, along with his wife and partner, are taking the voluntary benefits market by storm. They've built a strong foundation in their firm with a team of 6, all working together to simplify the enhanced voluntary benefits market for employers and their broker partners. If you want to learn how to sell voluntary markets to your business owner clients, you will not want to miss today's episode. Joining us today from Enhanced Benefits Insurance Solutions, welcome to the show, Jack Holder.
That's great.
There it is, Jack. Welcome to the show, my man.
Yeah, thanks for having me, James. Man, I got to get you to do every one of my intros. That is fantastic. You make me sound like $1 million. I couldn't do it myself.
All I did was a little Google search, so that $1 million is well earned by you for doing a great job putting yourself out there and being found on the internet.
Okay, that's a lot of my team too. They're great. They're better with the words than I am, especially when it comes to writing them down.
I hear you. You know, as leaders, you are the leader of your firm, of your crew. One of the great things that I have learned along the lines is when everything goes bad, it's my fault. When everything goes well, it's my team. It's all my team that does it. So, big shout out to you, to your team for everything that they've done. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me a little bit about your team. I mentioned you've been in the industry for 10 years, but now you've got your own firm. Tell me about your journey, man.
It's a great journey. Going back in time in 2005, I left everything behind in the great state of Oregon to move to beautiful San Diego. Love this place, and I came here for one real reason, and that's sunshine.
You can't beat it.
Yeah, you can't beat it. We had a lot of rain up in Oregon. Came down here, had no idea what I was going to do. I had my 4-year degree from Portland State. I had mostly done things like I worked for HUD for many years with my grandmother and grandpa, mowing lawns, doing some repairs on homes. I built manufactured homes. I worked on a ski resort, cruise ship.
A lot of working with your hands, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah. And then I started with insurance in San Diego, fully commissioned, had no idea what I was doing, and my family back home thought I was absolutely nuts.
So you started as a producer.
I did. Well, yeah, as an independent agent for a company, very small company called AFLAC.
Tiny. Never heard of them.
Never? Nah. Fantastic company. I learned a lot from them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I was going out. I went business to business, went to chambers of commerce, met a lot of great people. One of them that you know, Steve Haru.
Oh
And,
yeah, we know Steve.
and he gave me some tips and tricks along the way. It really helped me. But to fast forward, I went in management. I had one of the regional offices here in San Diego for a decade,
Mm-hmm.
and then decided it's time to expand. AFAC was a great opportunity as a carrier, but I wanted to be a lot more solutions oriented with multi carriers.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
we work predominantly, or my team mostly, with insurance, health brokers, some property and casualty,
Mm-hmm.
but predominantly health. And
Uh-oh.
it worked out well, but we just wanted to bring a lot.
Are you getting the in and out here?
Yeah,
Are
I'm
you
getting the same thing. I'm getting the same thing.
okay? As long as it's not just me.
No.
Technical difficulties. We've got Jack's internet freezing up a little bit, but if and when we are able to get him back on the line, we will continue. And sorry to interrupt your meetings.
Oh, no, we're good now. We're good now. There's Jack. I think he's back.
There's Jack. Uh-oh.
So,
All right. So
yeah,
you met Steve Haru. You decided to go on your own. You wanted to start your own venture, get away from Aflac. So one of the questions that I had for you was, you wanted to be more solutions oriented, was what you said.
Yep.
How did shifting your focus away from just selling Aflac to selling multiple products give you that option to be able to provide better solutions?
Well, we could go to the carriers and build relationships with these carriers to bring the best in class product for each situation. So it wasn't a one size fits all. It was let's look at all the options out there and figure out what some of those best solutions are. And some of it was based on cost, technology they're using, or it might just be preference of one of our health brokers or even a client. And AFAC was a great option, but it was only one option.
Right.
And now we have many, and many of our broker partners work with us because we can go to all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a broker myself on the PNC side, so I definitely understand the difference, some of the benefits when, I go to Nationwide or I go to Safeco or I want to pick instead Travelers or Stillwater, whatever, all these different carriers that I can work with.
Yeah.
A lot of times, it's about price too. It's about, who's got the best price out there. A lot of the products can kind of tend to be the same. What are some specific things that you've found in the voluntary benefits space that, one carrier provides that like others don't?
Yeah, probably the biggest one of the biggest deciding factors comes from large groups. So really groups over 50 that have technology platforms they're putting their benefits on. Well, how agile is that company to work with that platform? And some carriers work really well with certain platforms and some work horrible with certain platforms. And today I think it's the age of technology. And employers want it simple, and so do employees. And if it's simple, people will participate. And if it's not, they won't. And that's number one. And number two, I'll just throw this one out because we're in a border town here. Some carriers pay in Mexico and some don't. Well, you need to know which ones those are.
Wow. Okay.
Because when you're in trouble, you expect insurance to pay, and this is cash to you. And if it's not paying because your product wasn't designed to pay where you believe it's supposed to or built around you as a client, then we're in trouble. So There's a lot of nuances out there in our space specifically. Yep.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
It's not how it works. The way it works is you pay for insurance, and when you have a claim, it pays out, right? That's what people expect. One of the things that you mentioned as we're sitting here talking is the simplicity factor. You're absolutely right. If it's simple for an employer and it's simple for the employees, they're much more likely to sign up. And if it's not as simple, you're going to have a harder time. What are some of the strategies that you use to get that message across? What are some, like just to getting to that part of the conversation? Do you use social media marketing? Do you go door to door? Are you power dialing? What are some of your marketing strategies that you're using?
Yeah, so we're a little bit unique. We do not go direct to client or direct to employer. We really only go through our broker partners, whether again it's at health or PNC, because we don't want to compete. And that's been a huge value prop that we've been able to bring. And when we created this company, that's what a lot of our partners said that they really desired. So that's what we stuck with. Well, now how do we get in touch with health brokers or PNC? It's by things like this, going out there and promoting what we do and how we're a little bit different. It's connecting with people through LinkedIn, or a lot of it's referral based still. And we started out in San Diego, but now a lot of our partners and clients come from all over the nation. And but it's not just like going business to business. That's not our model. Our model is to work with the broker to simplify what they're doing, give them more resources, and really make them more money. So,
dude, I almost had you.
You mentioned that you go to health brokers as opposed to PNC. Why? Why health brokers rather than PNC?
We still do PNC, but it's a different sale. So the PNC, they're talking usually like workers' comp, or it might talk about fleet insurance. And what we do is more closely related with the health benefits, because our programs are enhancing the health benefits. So if they have health, it just makes the most sense, because a lot of times we'll put them side by side. And the second part of what we do is we educate the employees on all the benefits, not just the employee funded programs. We sometimes, again, work with the PNC where they don't have major medical, or they're trying to mitigate workers' comp, or they're just trying to set themselves apart from somebody else. But again, usually it's that health side.
Health just makes more sense. You said that you are enhancing the health benefits. Do you go typically to individuals for health, or do you really target going for group health, business to business?
99% of what we do is groups. And just to put it in perspective, about 90% of all of our production or what we have coming in is between about 50 employees to 1,000 employees cases. We do less than that, and we do some individual, and it's usually to help out friends, or if somebody wants us to look over something, we'll do that. But it's almost predominantly employee benefits.
Nice. You came from a big company. You were working with Aflac for a pretty long time, and then you went and started your own thing. There's this book that I really love called The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. You know it? I see you shaking your head.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So a lot of times we see the technician, the one that knows how to sell product, try to start their own business and just get buried by everything else, all the other administrative stuff that it takes to run a business. So tell me a little bit about your transition when you stepped away from being a producer for Aflac and you decided to start your own agency. What were some of your early struggles and how did you overcome them?
Ooh, those are fantastic questions. I could probably get deeper at a later time on this because I have a lot on that. Here's a sample of it. When you come from that big agency, or really something that the roadmap is given to you, maybe even 80% or 70%, you don't realize how much more simple it is when you don't have to figure out all the systems. As we transitioned, I couldn't have done it without my partners, and they're amazing, and they provide different perspectives. So my wife, she is the person behind the scenes a lot of times. She's building out the platforms and the systems for us, and that's tough. And especially for somebody like me, because I like to go talk to the people. I don't want to sit behind a desk all the time. Well, she's really good at processes. And then she hired a team to help her. And it does take some time. And I thought we would beat a lot of the odds. And I think we still are as a business, but we've learned a lot along the ways where not to spend our time. And it's funny, James, you bring that up, the technician. And we talk a lot about that here at the company. And we can't be, as business owners, as the owners of the agency, we can't be the techs. We have to be the entrepreneurs. Right. Really that. And that you almost just have to do it and research and rely upon your mentors to help get you through it.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I am the process guy for our agency, so I am behind the desk. I've got, you know, thanks. It's definitely tough. It's a lot of abstract thinking, right? Just kind of figuring out what the next step is, and then writing the process for it, which, you know, to me, probably to your wife, like those are the things that make sense to us, and we can just kind of write these things out and put together a step-by-step system that anybody should be able to follow.
Roads? Well, we're going, we don't need roads.
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be nice, man. Just be able to fly above all of that stuff and skip it. How long did it take for you guys to really like start to get into the groove? How long, first of all, like to get your team together, and then once you have your team, you know, put together the processes and, you know, really start to see that snowball effect?
Well, it's definitely taken some time. So we have officially just passed our 2-year mark. And it was a baby before that. It was a thought before that. But until you really take action, it's not a true reality. So before, let's see, it was 2019. So 2018 is when I decided, all right, I'm really making this happen. And I went out to some of our partners and asked for some advice. But more importantly, I went to my core team, which was Jackie Holder, which is my wife. That was part of it, obviously. The other is Heather Sims. And I told her, you know what, as a close friend and a business partner of mine, that I'm going to make a transition. And she said, Jack, you know what? After a few tears, she said,
I surrender to your will.
Is that what she said?
Oh, perfect. And she also said, you know what? I know you. I already know. I knew it was coming. So she said, let's do this together. And I said, absolutely. And really, the three of us have been very strong. And between the three of us, we're really good at some things and maybe not as good at others. So we play off each other's strengths. But then we brought in a team. And we couldn't have done it without this team. And we brought them in quickly. So our core team, like Jesse Diaz, immediately with us. Ralph Fernandez, huge help to us. Stephanie Duran. These were our core. And then we started adding on to that. And so it's really, James, 2 years to get to where we are now. But the snowball effect, I would say, really happened about mid last year. It started to happen right before COVID, a little bit of a damper, and then made a step back, put on the brakes, work on the business. And now I think our trajectory, we're already looking at doing, well, let's just say astronomically higher this year than last year. We'll probably do more in this 6 months than we've done in the past 2 years.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Love to hear that. So did COVID like affect you guys, or, you know, you were about a year in at that point? So how did you guys adjust to that? Was there any adjustment period where you guys all coming into the office and then all of a sudden you're not coming into the office anymore? Tell me about that change.
Yeah. It definitely a challenge, but an opportunity. And so what happened was, we have and that's why I'm in my office today. I'm not here as much. We were coming into the office for the most part. I do miss that camaraderie of being in the office, but we shifted virtual pretty fast because a lot of what we did was already virtual. Coincidentally enough, one of our key employees was already moving, so it was just right along, and it just pushed us forward a little bit faster. But
That's good. One less thing.
One less thing. What are some of the ways that, you know, when the COVID effect happened, when COVID hit, everybody had to shift virtual. How did that affect you going to reach out to all of your health broker partners?
Well, we just can't do lunches as much, right? We just don't do as much in person, but it's almost made us closer to some, because now a lot of times we'll screen share like this, and we use Zoom and Google predominantly. So we've been able to get closer to those that are further away from us. So before, geography was a little bit more of almost an excuse. I get the localism, and I'm a huge fan of it, but it doesn't always really matter about being local or not. What matters is, are you going to get the right services that you need, and what's best for you? And so COVID has really expanded our horizons, and admittedly, we were set up probably 3/4 of the way there and going that direction anyways. So it's allowing us to springboard now.
Nice. So it really didn't stop you at all. It just kind of accelerated what you were already planning.
Right. It stopped our pipeline for a minute, because many of our clients said, hold on, we're not doing anything right now. So that hurt immediately. It hurt. But long term, I think we're learning from it, and we're looking at the best of COVID. There's a lot of horrible things, but we're just looking at the best for our business and our families.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It must be nice. I noticed that you are a family man, so I'm guessing you're spending a lot more time at home these days. Has it affected your work at all?
So that was probably the biggest hindrance in the beginning, the best blessing and biggest hindrance. 2 little girls running in between myself and my wife in the house while we're trying to work and trying to figure out the next steps. 2 little girls aren't quiet. So my oldest is 8, she's almost 9, and then a 6-year-old now. But it's been a huge blessing for us to be able to step back, take some time with the family. I got to see my youngest learn how to ride a bike. That's been cool. Awesome. I get to see my oldest really dive into science, and she's a science person by far. And and then a lot more time with the wife as well. So it has been a huge blessing from that perspective. But working at home, I don't know how single parents do it. I give them extra credit, because 2 parents with kids is tough. One
Props
parent
to all the single moms and dads out there. Heck yeah.
Absolutely.
So what's next on the horizon for you guys? 2021, we just kicked it off. What are some of your big 2021 goals, and how do you plan to get there?
All right, let me think about that for a second. I have all of those. Let me see what I want to share. Okay, so we are driving to be really a dominant presence in our industry, and a lot of what we're trying to do is create sustainable strategies, really these sustainable outlooks for the enhanced benefits or voluntary benefit space. In the past, it's always been this churn and burn in the industry, and that drives me crazy, because it's about this. And granted, this pays our bills, but if it's about this first, I personally believe that's the wrong thing to do for a client. So we are working with our broker partners and a lot of our clients from the employer side to talk about what these sustainable strategies look like. How are we going to put in programs that aren't just here for the day, but are going to last for many years to come? And we're going all in on that model. Number 2 is we are really focused on almost looking and feeling like an in-house presence for our broker partners. We call it a VBO model, which is voluntary benefit outsource, but really acting as that in-house resource to create the partnerships with the carriers and make sure that we're doing our due diligence, our fiduciary responsibility, shop the carriers, and then put a true proven employee engagement strategy in place. All in all, when we stick to these processes, everybody wins. Employees get better products, lower rates, employers get more simplified product offerings, and our broker partners, they increase their time that they have to do other things, and they also make more money. So how are we going to get there, man? It's about spreading the word. It's about connecting with our partners. Social media is a big part of it, but that's one part of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah. One of the big things I heard you say, when it's not just about the money, right? It's really about bringing value. It's about educating the client and telling them, how this is going to maintain and sustain them for a long time. If I am a business owner, I've got employees, what's the one thing that you want to tell me? What's the one thing that's like that one piece of education that's most important? Right? Because there's so many things about voluntary benefits. There's so many things about group health. There's, all these different plans to choose from and all these things that are covered and what's not. This one does chiropractic. This one doesn't, all these different things. Right. But what's that one bit of educational piece, that one thing that you're going to start with to say, this is why you want to look at voluntary benefits for your employees?
Mm-hmm. There's two pieces to that. For voluntary benefits, is giving the employees the choice to protect their families, and it doesn't even have to cost a business owner anything. They can fund it or fund part of it, and many are, but if your employee, especially those that are really connected to their employees, if your employee comes to you with let's say a medical condition or a challenge because they are diagnosed with cancer or have a bad disability or whatever it might be, you want to tell them that you did your due diligence to provide them these programs they couldn't get anywhere else. They can only get it through you, Mr. and Mrs. Employer. That is powerful. Plus, it fills the gaps of some of your major medical, right? It's a win-win. The second piece, and this is, I think, even stronger. We just use the voluntary benefits as a tool to provide better programs to their employees, fill some of those gaps, but it's all about employee engagement. And without voluntary benefits and employee engagement together, nobody knows what they have. You can have the best benefit program in the world, but if your employees don't know it, well, how good is that benefit plan? And so how are we going to engage those employees, especially your remote employees now? How are we going to connect with them, make them feel part of the team? And our company does a lot of that.
Can I ask, what are some of the things that you guys do to get them to get that engagement?
Oh, yeah. So we try to make it fun. Benefits should be a celebration. And what does that look like? Every company is different. So we have some very fun companies out there that let us do as much as we want, or even make it let us be a little bit more creative. For instance, we have many actually cannabis companies. They've been a blast. They're like, yep, we need to step it up a notch. Okay. So we make, right?
Okay.
So we make funny videos. It's open enrollment. We have new plans. We do text messaging. We engage them directly with real human contact. And oh, that's funny. I think I'm glitching a little bit, but we try to meet the employees where they are, and we provide communication to them in the way that they want to receive it. So if we're talking to a company, the average age is over 50 and it's all males, we're probably going to create different marketing strategies than if they're 25 years old and under and they're in-home healthcare. It's just a good example. So we want to really communicate with these employees on what their options are through multiple forms, and that giving them that person to talk to, that real life person that's not commission based, so it doesn't matter if they buy or not, is a huge advantage, and we've gotten a lot of recognition for that.
Well, that's cool, baby. I mean, you know how it is.
There it is. the one thing that you mentioned there is that there's somebody that they're talking to that's not commission based. Is that like the service person or?
Yeah, that's our team.
There you go.
We have one of our big value props, and there's other companies that do amazing jobs too, but none of our people are commissioned, so they don't even get bonused on it. And the reason we did that is because we don't want them even unintentionally pushing people to buy something that they may not need just so that person can pay their bills. And it's not only, and that's a big win. So employees know when they, you probably heard it before, commission breath. They know when they see commission breath. Well, if we take that away, the walls go down and people can really make, in my opinion, informed decisions. And
that's amazing.
And it's not only helped us, it's helped some of our broker clients win new clients, because you know what, we have this non-commissioned service team. And
I absolutely. I mean, I think correct me if I'm wrong, but I think CarMax does that as well.
Yep.
So like when you go to CarMax, you never have that commission breath, salesperson. They're just like, hey, buy it or don't buy it. It's cool. I'm just here to help you out. And you have that same vibe. You present that same air of, look, I'm just here to help you. Makes no difference to me whether you buy or not. I'm here to help you. And that's incredible, man. That's an incredible business model. Jack, we are running low on time here, but I want to give you an opportunity. If anybody wants to work with you, if any health insurance agents out there need a partner that doesn't have commission breath, that can help provide the enhanced benefits for their customers, how can people get in touch with you? Make sure that you let our listening audience know how to reach you.
Yep, they can call me, and I guess I can send you my phone number, or they can just email me. Either one is fine. I'll give you my cell even. And I just shot it over to you.
Oh, do you want people listening? Do you want our audience to hear that?
It doesn't matter. Or they can go to, they can even go to my LinkedIn page, and all my contact information is there as well. It doesn't matter to me. So I'm a big believer in being very transparent and open. And before I transitioned into this model, somebody said, you know what, just give me a call. And I talked to them for quite a while. And they weren't going to get anything out of it other than giving me some advice and some help. I'm always open to that, whether it's I can directly help or if I can help them in any other way, even just bounce some ideas.
Perfect.
So, yeah, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today, James.
Yeah, absolutely, Jack. Thank you so much. Really learned a lot. And like I said, anybody out there who needs a partner in the voluntary benefits space, someone who is really there to help your customers, not there just for the commission. They're really, that's probably the most mind-blowing thing. We should have started with that. Like, that's something, future reference, like that's where you start, because to me, that's a very unique thing about your business model. Every other agency that I know, every agent that I know, it's all about that commission. And for you to be in a space where you're like, no, we're not commission based, we're here to help. That's a huge value add right there.
Now, one little piece. So we as a company technically are commission based.
Of course.
But our people are not paid that way. And that's been a huge differentiator. So thank you for that. The one last is, connect with me on LinkedIn. That's probably my favorite place to also conduct business. And it's Jack D. Holder. If you put in Jack Holder, I don't know what you're going to get, but Jack D. Holder works really well.
Jack D. Holder. All right. Well, again, Jack, thank you so much for spending some time with us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all we've got. Don't forget to follow us, subscribe, rate, and review. All of our social media is at Insurance Bro Show, at least for now. By the end of the month, it's going to change to Insurance Pro Show. If you are already a subscriber, if you are already a listener, it's going to automatically change for you guys. But anybody listening to this a little bit later, it's at Insurance Pro Show. So thank you to this insurance pro over here, Jack Holder. Thanks again for hopping on with us, man.
All right. Thank you. Have a great day.
You as well, the rest of our audience. As always, you know I love you. You know you rock my socks. You know you have my heart. So you, please.
Have a nice day.
Thank you for tuning in to the Insurance Bro Show. James is the CEO of the Pipeline team of San Diego and is always in the market for top talent. If you're an agent looking for a place to hang your license, visit www.pipelineinsurance.com/agent opportunities or send an email to newagent@pipelineinsurance.com. Look for James on all social media